Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Got a couple of things I want to tell y'all today before we get into these couple of clips I wanted to bring y'all. Guaranteed to be a little shorter version today than the normal show. I normally do 20, 30, 40 minutes. I'll try to keep it less than that today. But first off, let's talk about why I'm bringing you these couple of clips. It's because, like so many people, one of my coworkers seems a little discouraged. We were discussing politics a little bit today, and I don't know if he votes or not. I hadn't got that far in the conversation with him, but he made a statement that said, nobody will ever go to jail. Politicians don't go to jail. I said, well, Menendez went to jail. He said, no. He said, all this theft and waste and abuse and all these criminals and all these people on these lists. He said, oh, well, nobody go to jail. They never do. They got too much money. I said, well, it's always been that way in the past. And you're right. I agree with that 100%. It always seems like that's the way it's been. But this time around, I was trying to tell him we have a reason to have hope. I said, there's something in me that I have to believe wholeheartedly about the Trump administration. Trump didn't hire headhunters like Tom Homan to be the border czar because he wasn't going to kick people out of the country. We see that in action every day. He didn't hire people like Cash Patel and Pam Bondi to jerk us around behind Epstein's list and actual indictment, arrest, prosecution cases that have already probably been built on so many levels, at least the information corroborated, not to go the extra step. I don't believe they're going to go, we caught everybody and here's all the suspects. I don't believe it's going to go down like this, folks. I don't believe Trump has built this amazing team of headhunters, people that are willing to do their job the way it's supposed to be done. Justice will be done. I believe this time it's not just a talking point. I believe we're really going to see people indicted, incarcerated, lose their fortune. God knows what's going to come out. Now, a lot of the Epstein information has been redacted. We'll never see it. We'll probably never watch a minute of video footage because the FBI, CIA have had control of that stuff for too long. And so a lot of that stuff is going to be destroyed or probably been sold back to the owner who's on the videos. That would be my guess, but or used for blackmail later, depending on how they want to play it. But my guess is a lot of the information that was carried out of Epstein's house we will never see. But that doesn't mean we will not get indictments of people that are highly involved, that were helpful architects in making this human trafficking thing happen with the Lolita Express and everything else. And that's just one particular set of crimes. Now, there is so many things. There's a lot of congressmen that took the money behind, stole the money behind the COVID, took the money behind the lobbyists and the bribes, took the USAID money. And I'm not talking about just Democrats. I'm talking about Democrats and Republicans on both sides are very guilty of allowing our spending to get out of control. Go ahead and rubber stamping that next bill that's got 4,000 pages of God knows what in it, and they're getting a kickback because they rubber stamped that monthly bill that they don't know what's in it. And that's the truth of the matter. They play go along to get along games, and it's been beneficial for them thus far. And I think that is coming to a screeching halt. Now, hopefully, so many people will go to jail, will be indicted, will have to be forced to resign, will have to get out of politics, or have a shittier choice option when it comes down to that point, which is coming. I believe it's going to get so bad that we're going to have to hold a special election in the middle of it, right after the 2022 election cycle before. Believe me, we're going to have special elections because there's going to be some people in all levels of government. I'm talking about mayors, I'm talking about governors, I'm talking about senators and congressmen that have all done the dirty, have all been caught, have all had corroborated evidence against them. It is undeniable. That's what I know at this point. And I don't believe that it's all just going to be paraded out there on television just for it to be a nothing burger. So we know who the guilty ones are, and then what? Well, and then what is where a lot of people's attitude is. Are we ever going to get any prosecution? Is Adam Schiff's going to go to jail? We'll know if the prosecution is working when Adam Schiff goes to jail. Not just gets indicted, but goes to jail. There will be some key markers that say that. But we do know that senators go to jail. Bob Menendez. We do know that illegals are getting deported. We do know that cartel cartel leaders are being rounded up and arrested to be deported or to be Guantanamo Bay, depending on circumstance. We do know that there is many active investigation cases going on right now, including the Epstein case. And they said 2 days ago they just got a truckload of Epstein documents, not the fake documents, not the already released documents that the FBI gave us the 200 pages, but an actual real dump truckload, box truckload of information. And hopefully we get the videos as well. I don't want to watch the videos, but I want to see them. I want to know who's put in jail. I need to know about class action lawsuits against all these criminals when this is all laid out. These people are going to lose their not just their freedom, but their fortune behind the people they perpetrate. I'm sure a lot of these people are sitting back thinking, let all this come out. And I'll raise my hand and say, yeah, I was one of the victims. Because I imagine they say 254 victims. I imagine a lot of them the other day bear the scars of being on that island. And if they didn't go there by choice, boy howdy for whoever was involved. Because these people do know that they're going to be cooperating evidence, cooperating witnesses, I have to believe, in this whole takedown, shakedown thing. This happens. It's not just a little bit of evidence over here, a little bit of evidence over here about certain crimes, this, that, and the other. It's a massive amount of corruption going on with our government, stealing from every way possible. Our government is ripping us off. And for the last 4 years, it has been a boondoggle. They've been stashing money in PO boxes and stuff. Crazy the amount of money that Biden had to try to find a way to get rid of. Then they passed so many Republican-sponsored omnibus bills. I'm telling it, the omnibus bills and those Inflation Reduction Act, that $7 trillion they spent under Biden's watch. Republicans voted for that crap, and we got nothing out of the deal except for inflation and higher and higher prices everywhere. But enough ranting about that. Let's go ahead and get into both these videos. The guy at work was trying to convince me that there is no hope in incarceration and prosecution of people going to jail. He said, nah, it'll never happen. I said, well, I believe you're wrong, and I hope you're wrong. And I hope you tell me in the comment section down below, are you a naysayer? Do you think nobody will ever go to jail? Adam Schiff will never go to jail. Nancy Pelosi will never. I can't say he will and he won't, but we know just the way all these Trumpers that are part of the Trump organization are talking. They're not just talking about prosecution. They're not just talking about indictments in the cases and the information. They're not giving the details because of the investigation, because of course it's coming. That's why we're not getting too much. But it's definitely a fact that they're all saying the same thing. People are going to jail. People are going to jail, including those FBI leakers that tried to get Tom Homan's crew all hemmed up behind telling people in advance when to leave, where not to be, because Tom Homan's coming to town. Christian Nome, Tom Homan, Cash Patel, are all figuring this out, and they believe they're going to give 10-year sentences to several people, and they have already got a pretty good idea of who some of these people are. So we will be able to see, probably in real time in the next couple of weeks, if not sooner, a couple of agents, we believe at this point, agents that will go to jail behind for 10 years behind their actions towards Tom Homan and his ICE agent not being able to show up somewhere without having somebody drop the dime on it. You know what I mean. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get into it. I've got several clips here for you. Actually, we're going to do it quick today. Put me down here in the corner real small. Ain't nobody's way. I don't know if you're a fan of Benny Johnson. He's a little flamboyant, a little flashy, and a little loud and extreme sometimes, but he does bring some really good content. He's got the best guest out of anybody I've seen in the podcast world. Benny Johnson is the only podcaster I know that not only can be in the press corps, but can actually be in the White House, Oval Office, conducting interviews himself. He's got it like that with Trump and every one of Trump's people. He's had some of the best congressmen we've got on the show many times. So shout out to Benny Johnson. We got Alina Haba on there today, and she is speaking music to my ears.
just wanted to touch on when it comes to pederasts and prosecuting them and the people who are related to them or were in league with them. Ghislaine Maxwell is the only person that's ever done any time for this Epstein for Epstein. I guess the American people, like Pam Bondi, seemed furious in her letter to Kash Patel about the FBI withholding evidence from her on Epstein. Apparently, according to her words, there's a truckload of new evidence. Any updates on that?
It's funny. I actually just asked about this and where it's at. And I just want to say, I understand and hear the American people's, ask. And sometimes they mistakenly put it on me, and that's fine. I'm part of the administration. But I will say that I personally have checked in. They are going through it. You have to be patient, because when you are wanting to prosecute and actually do something with the information that you have to make sure that you save the integrity of the investigation so that we can bring these people to justice, so that we can hold grand juries, so that we can do certain things. You have to be careful. The value for the American people to know immediately would undercut, we have to do it. We have to expose it. We're going to be transparent 100%. But we also have to make sure we're not putting any children in danger, putting any minors that don't want and do not deserve to be publicly identified in danger, and making sure that we put forth the information that would still assist us in getting these individuals to justice. It's such a convoluted thing, but I will tell you, transparency is 100% coming. We did get a ton of documents. Pam's letter, I think, was directed towards the SDNY, that we now know the individual in charge there had directives to go in the FBI and said, be the resistance, do not turn over the documents. We have no tolerance for that. But I would just say to the American people, yes, they got the documents. Kash instructed those individuals that you must cooperate. One resigned, who was leading the charge in not cooperating. And now we have them, and we have to go through them. There is a very large amount of documents, I've been told. They are going through them. And I also, frankly, believe in transparency. We have to give the American people transparency. And we have been, frankly. And unfortunately, sometimes we have to wait a little bit to go through the documents. We are not machines. But I know that they are actively working on it.
Music to my ears, folks. People are going to be prosecuted, indicted, and investigated, but we're in process of sifting through all this massive amounts of information. We've got to lay it out and build cases on every person involved and figure out if they are just a John or are they one of Epstein's partners. What book were they in? What flight log were they in? Did they make it to the little black book of Epstein's client list or Epstein's partner list? That's the question, folks. Now, we may never find out about Prince Andrew or anybody in the Middle East that was probably doing business with Jeffrey Epstein. We'll only know rumors about Bill Clinton unless they lay it out, and if they do, Bill Clinton will be in jail. Now, this guy here, this next clip, says it only takes about 60 days before we'll start seeing indictments. We've already been 45 days in. I don't think we hit the ground running that hard with the prosecution, with investigations, but I believe a lot of this stuff has a backstory already. A lot of these things we already know how corrupt they were. We know the two players. We know how it happened. It's just a matter of building your case and laying it out in court. All right, folks, this is a great clip as well. Like I said, we're going to try to keep it short today. I really love this guy. He's got such a 3D printed Ford part. He's a little vulgar. That's okay. I think that's what I like about him.
Vacate.
Yeah, he's always got music in his background, so have the copyright issues, but I don't care at this point. You'll want to share it. Listen to this. This is about the Department of Education.
Are you ready for the left's next big meltdown? The Department of Education employees have been told that every single last one of them must vacate their offices by 6 p.m. today. Wednesday, all buildings in the D.C. area of the Department of Education will be closed for security purposes. You know what that means? Bye-bye, Department of Education. The left's going to be like, oh, he's attacking education. No, as he said, $80 billion a year to the Department of Education, and they don't do a fuck all and nothing. No, they don't have anything to do with the daily operations of your child's school. They eat up $80 billion a year. There are 97,000 schools, approximately, across America. If you divide it up, $80 billion across those 97,000 schools, that is $820,000 every year for every single fucking school in this country. Who do you think would better spend that money? Should that money be spent on some dude in an office, on his salary, that he does nothing, or right directly at your school? Which do you think would be better? See, it's common sense and logic. That's what we're doing here, people. Welcome to the upswing. This is how you start this party. We're gonna clean up all that shit, clean up the corruption, kick the fucking corrupt motherfuckers out, fire them. Then we'll do some investigations. Then there'll be grand juries. Then there will be indictments. And then there will be arrests. That's how the system works. Learn how due process and our judicial system works. I get it. We're all learning how the executive branch and the legislative branch and the judicial branch works. Now we need to understand how the system of laws work, because we're all going to get a lesson in it. Especially you corrupt fucks. You're going to learn all about it, you criminal bastards. Good luck to you all, and long live this beautiful republic.
Long live the Republic. I love it, folks. This guy is great. Let's throw him in there at least a couple of days a week. He's always got good stuff. And I agree with him 100%. Most everything he says is just spot on. Here's just a quick example of, say our government is not doing, or you say Trump is not doing anything to make life harder for the people that have shit on him, including the 51 intel agents, the people who created the Russian collusion hoax. All the people that were involved in trying to get Trump, they lost their security clearance. Every single one of them. This happened yesterday or the day before. But it's just one way of being able to take all these people's and lawyers, law firms, ability to conduct business the way they were used to. It's over. There is no more back doors to government access to information that doesn't pertain to the company. For example, Perkins Coie used lawfare. Matt Gaetz discovered that Democrat law firm Perkins Coie had FBI workstations in a sensitive, compartmentalized information facility, a SCIF, in its offices. The firm was the one behind the Russia collusion hoax. That all got exposed. They've lost all their credentials, including the 51 intel agent. Maybe they can take their law license. That would be the next thing to do. If they've done anything that is unethical, they try to jerk their law license. That would be a good one as well. But stuff is happening, folks. We may not see all the actual results of the stuff so far, but Trump is cleaning the house, changing the rules. Elon Musk is coming in there doing his thing, saving us tons of money and exposing the waste, fraud, abuse, and the corruption while they're building cases on the corrupt individuals involved. I love it, folks. It's coming. I have to believe that in my heart. I don't believe that Trump is going to have all these dream team headhunters work for him, go to all the trouble to get people ready to be prosecuted, and then what? Wait 4 years while the American people scream, we want somebody to go to jail. No. Trump's not getting a black eye behind this. We're going to put people's asses in jail. That's the plan. That's been the plan since day one. We've been speaking it really loud on the campaign trail. But these folks need to go to jail. He gave Hillary a pass, like he said, talking to Sean Hannity on an interview. You got to do it. You're going to have to do it. That's what he said. I remember very clearly, folks. All right, last clip of the day, folks. This is a little short one. This is our great Miss Lovett, and she is tearing it up. She schools an Associated Press guy that just got kicked out of there a couple weeks ago. I guess he's back. Check it out.
Sorry, have you ever paid a tariff? Because I have.
As I said at the beginning, revenues will stay here, wages will go up, our country will be made wealthy again, and I think it's insulting that you're trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. Mary, go ahead.
Sorry, have you ever paid a tariff?
Have you ever paid a tab? Was this shitty question to her? Wow. You know what? We call on him no more. They've already been kicked out of there once. They cried to get back in. They come back in. Shitty question right off the bat. I wouldn't call on old cat sleeves anymore. No, I think that's just par for the course. They're not going to come in there and be nice, ask the right questions, and even try to be objective. They're just going to come in there and be shitty, trying to, well, let's see what happened there. That's what I got for you today, folks. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. And do tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Do you have faith that prosecution is part of the plan and part of the final result? Are we going to get indictments? Are we going to get people in orange jumpsuits? Are we going to get people at the Gray Bar Motel? I don't know.